Yo, what up? It's your boy, Mr. E, and we are moving on to sales taxes. Now, sales taxes are some things that I think you might know a little bit about already because there's something that you might have experienced yourself. Okay. So let's start with the definition of a sales tax. Sales tax is the tax added to the price of goods or services. So anytime you purchase something or pay for somebody to do something for you, you're going to have to pay a sales tax. You might have seen on a receipt or maybe one of your parents' receipts that the sales tax is always included on that receipt. So you know exactly how much you're paying for that receipt. So again, good idea to pause right here to make sure that you've written down this vocabulary definition because these words are so important for us to remember, okay? So let's talk a little bit about sales tax. So like I said, anytime you purchase something, anytime you put your credit card through something, pay something with cash or a check, you're gonna have to pay a sales tax. And what do sales tax go towards? Well, they actually go towards local governments. So anytime we pay a sales tax, we're helping out the city of McKinney, you know, the best place to live, or like DJ Khaled would say, we the best. So it only not only pays for your city, but it also helps pay for your state government and your county government. So for us, we live in the great state of Texas. Our city is McKinney, or some of you guys might live in other cities. I live in Richardson, but our county is Collin County. So the sales tax is comprised of different percentages that go to different parts of the government, but it helps pay for those types of things, all right? So the sales tax in Texas is 8.25%, which might seem a little bit high, but I mean, when we think about $1, it's only about 8 cents that gets added to it. So it kind of is what it is. So the next time you purchase a Reese's or a candy bar, just know that you're not going to have to pay that 99 cents. You're going to have to pay a little bit extra, okay? DJ Khaled, get out of here. What are you doing? Well, that was a little creepy. I hope he's okay. All right, let's take a look at a problem that has to do with sales tax. Now, one thing I will say is sales taxes gets into percentages, and percentages are something that you guys will learn a little bit more next year in 6th grade, but it's always a great idea to start trying to get yourself prepared for that now, okay? So Mrs. Morris, hey, I know her. She wants to buy a new coat that costs $120. Now, I might just be cheap, but that seems very expensive. Maybe she's buying a Gucci coat or something like that. What would be the final cost, including a 7% sales tax? Okay. So remember, I talked about this in a previous video. Percent actually just means per 100. Okay. So we just think of 7 per 100. Okay. So instead of thinking of it as just 7, we're going to think of 7% as 0 and 700. So 0 and 700. Because 7 over 100 would be 7%. 7 over 100 equals 700. Hopefully you're following along, but you'll be converting those kind of things a lot next year in 6th grade, okay? So I need to know what 7% of 120. 7% of 120, that would mean I need to multiply because normally the word of means to multiply, okay? So we've got 120 and then we've got 700s at the bottom, okay? We wouldn't want to multiply it by 7 because our sales tax isn't going to be more expensive than what we purchased, okay? Remember, I put the number with the most digits on top. That way I'm not having to do more multiplication. So 7 times 0 would get us 0. 7 times 2 would get us 14. And then 7 times 1 would get us 8. Plus 1 would get us, or 7 times 1 is 8. What do I know? 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. And then since we're multiplying with decimals, you must scoop. If you remember that cringy video that I showed you guys at the beginning of the year, okay? So our sales tax is going to be approximately $8.40, okay? Now, we're trying to find what the final cost is. So what we're going to do is we're going to take $120 and we're going to add the $8.40, okay? So we didn't have a decimal for the $120, but no fear. We can always add a decimal and add zeros to the right because that doesn't add any value, okay? Then we just add these two bad boys or girls together, and we put 0, 4, don't forget to drop that decimal, 8, 2, and 1. So our total cost would be $128.40. Maybe Mrs. Morris is using her stimulus check to buy this new Coke because that seems pretty expensive to me. All right, so I hope you understand a little bit more about sales tax. Again, try talking to your parents about this. Maybe when you go to the grocery store to get those essential items, you can see how sales tax gets applied to your final receipt. All right. We love you. We miss you guys, and we'll see you guys later. Bye. Yo, what up? It's your boy, Mr. E, and we are going to do this final day of e-learning this week on property tax. Now, property tax is a little complicated, so I'm going to just give you guys the shortened version or the Cliff Notes version, but hopefully you can keep up and follow along with what we're talking about today. So, again, we've got a chance for some vocabulary, so pause the video and write this down if you can. Property tax is the tax or levy on property that the owner is required to pay. So we're thinking about things that you own. Now, this might become a little confusing because when I think of property, I'm thinking of houses and land or something that is real estate. Your Nintendo Switch, yeah, that is your property, but you're not going to pay a property tax on your Nintendo Switch. So when you think of property taxes, think of things like buildings, houses, land. That's what property tax gets paid on. Now, what happens is a person called an assessor comes out and they assess the value of your property, and a certain percentage of that value will be sent to the government to pay for things like schools. In Texas, our property tax funds our schools. It's a really, really important thing. So that makes Mr. Ellsbury very, very happy because it gives me somewhere to work and somewhere to make some money. Now, there's a couple different ways you can pay property taxes. You can pay your property taxes monthly. So you would just take your year that you have and you divide it into 12, or you can just pay it all up front at once annually. And that gets paid usually around the middle of the year. Now, when I think about property taxes in Texas are actually pretty high. So the national average is $2,823. Here in Collin County, we pay $5,434, and in Dallas County, where I actually live, is $5,610, almost double that, which makes me very, very sad because I one day want to buy a house. I want to get out of this apartment, but property taxes are going to be pretty high. But they do really help a lot of things like schools get along, so they are a very important thing. All right, let's take a look at a word problem that would deal with property taxes. So Chris's property tax totals $4,356 each year. How much would Chris spend on property tax each month? So we know that Chris's property tax is a total of $4,356, and that's per year, okay? But we're trying to find out how much that is per month. So the way I figure this out is I know that there are 12 months in a year. So if I pay my total over 1 year is 4,356, I'm going to need to divide that to find out the answer. So we're going to put 4,356 inside the box and 12 on the outside of the box. Okay. Now, really, really important to make a what I know column. Okay. Now, 12s are something that you should probably start memorizing. We should have all of our facts up to 12 memorized by the time we're hitting middle school, which I know a lot of you guys actually already know your 12s, which is awesome. But we're going to pause at our fifth number and come back if we need to, okay? So we know that 1 times 12 is 12, 2 times 12 is 24, 3 times 12 is 36, 4 times 12 is 48, and 5 times 12 is 60. It's a little what I know column to help us out along the way. All right, let's get dividing. 4 is the first number in our division problem. Can 12 fit into 4? No, 12 is too big. So 12 cannot fit into 4, so we're going to move on to the next number. How many times can 12 fit into 43? Well, 48 is a little too much, so we're going to go down 1, and we're going to go to 3. Okay, so we'll go 36 down here. We divide, multiply, subtract, and then we will bring down the next number in a second. Borrow 1 from this 4. That will get us 7, and we'll bring down the next number. Okay, now we're going to see how many times can 12 fit into 75. So 60, it definitely can fit in that, but I think that we can get a little bit closer. So we're going to move up to 6, which will get us to 72. So put the 6 on top of the 5, put a 72 down here, and we'll subtract, and that will get us 3. Then we'll bring down the next number. Ooh, it's all coming together now, boys. 36, how many times can 12 fit into 36? That's going to be another 3 for us. 36 minus 36 will get us that donut we so desire. So we got a remainder of 0. That's something we're always trying to look for, is get that remainder of 0. Have to add a little sprinkles there. Okay, so each month, Chris is going to pay $363 for property taxes. Now, you just learned a lot about taxes over these last couple of days. And yeah, it might seem like a lot of your money is going to be taken from taxes, and a lot of it is, but you still will have a lot of money left over that you can spend on things like food, entertainment, and other things like that. So do not worry, taxes don't take all of your money away, though sometimes may feel like that. So I hope you learned a lot about taxes. Like I've said every video, talk to your parents about these things. They know a lot about taxes, and they probably are a much better expert about this than I am, okay? We love you, we miss you, and we'll see you later. Bye.